and a fortiori yet other benefits. Having heard these exhortations, beings become established in the perfection of patience. 4. Perfection of exertion. Exertion. Speaking to beings, the bodhisattva tells them, "Do not be lazy, O beings. For the energetic person, there is no aspiration that is not realized. The higher qualities usually obtained are not without causes and conditions, but all of them come from exertion." Exertion has two characteristics. 1. It gives rise to good dharmas. 2. It eiminates bad dharmas. It also has three characteristics. 1. It wants to do something. 2. It does it with exertion. 3. It does not desist. It also has four characteristics. 1. It destroys and eliminates bad dharmas that have already arisen. 2. It prevents bad dharmas that have not yet arisen from arising. 3. It makes good dharmas that have not yet arisen arise. 4. It assures the development of good dharmas that have already arisen. These are the characteristics of exertion. Exertion contributes to the realization of all the good dharmas. Thus, when fire meets with the help of wind, burning is activated. And just as in this world, a strong man is able to cross mountains and seas, so exertion applied to the dharmas of the path succeeds in attaining the body of the Buddhas and, a fortiori, yet other things. Beings who hear these exhortations are established in the perfection of exertion. Moreover, seeing that some beings have not yet produced the mind of supreme perfect enlightenment, the bodhisattva praises this anuttara samyaksambodhi to them. Among all the dharmas, it is by far the foremost and the most noble. It helps everyone. It finds the true nature of dharmas and of the non-deceptive dharma. It has great loving kindness and great compassion. It holds omniscience. The physical mark of golden color. The supreme miracles of the 32 major marks and the 80 minor marks. The immense anusravaskanda, morality. Concentration, wisdom, liberation, knowledge and vision of liberation, the three knowledges, the unhindered knowledges, and the unhindered penetration into all dharmas. Those who have attained it are the most venerable among all beings and have the right to the worship of the whole world. If the person who limits himself to mentally commemorate the Buddhas gains immeasurable indestructible immense merit, what can be said of those who exercise exertion, generosity, morality, worship, service and respect? Speaking to beings, the bodhisattva again tells them, Buddha activity being like that, you must produce the mind of supreme body. By diligently practicing exertion and by acting in accordance with the Dharma, you will attain it without any difficulty. Having heard these exhortations, beings produce the mind of supreme body. Those who produce it do not do so in vain. They will succeed in practicing the perfection of generosity and, having practiced it, they will also practice the perfection of morality, the perfection of patience, the perfection of meditation and the perfection of wisdom. Now the practice of these five perfections is precisely the fact of the perfection of exertion. To those who do not produce the mind of the Mahayana, the Bodhisattva must teach the Pratyeka Buddha body. To those who do not have the Pratyeka Buddha body, he teaches the development of the Sravaka body. To those who do not have the Sravaka body, he teaches the renunciation of form and the tasting of the calm of the formless absorptions. To those who do not have the formless absorptions, he teaches the renunciation of desire and to taste the many blisses of the trances of the form realm. To those who do not have the jhanas, he teaches the development of the 10 good paths of action and to taste the many happinesses belonging to gods and humans. To all, the Bodhisattva says, do not give yourself up to empty and ineffective laziness. Poor people and lowly people are afflicted by all kinds of painful efforts, but laziness is the lowest of the faults. It destroys the benefits and good paths of the present life and the future life. Hearing these exhortations, beings gather the good dharmas and practice exertion diligently. 5. Perfection of trance. In the presence of beings. The bodhisattva praises the pure bliss of the trances and the absorptions. Inner bliss. The bliss of lordship. The bliss of renunciation of sin. The bliss of the present and the future life, the bliss experienced by the saint, the bliss of the Brahmadevarajas, the bliss felt by the entire body, deep, solid and wonderful bliss. He says to beings, "Why do you cling, O beings, to the defiled bliss of the 5 objects of enjoyment? Like animals, you are tasting the defiled bliss of sins and you are abandoning the wonderful bliss mentioned above. If you could renounce limited bliss, you would obtain great bliss. Do you not see that the farmer sacrifices a few seeds in order to subsequently reap great fruits? The person who makes the king a moderate gift receives in return a great reward. With a small fish as bait, one captures a big fish. If the sacrifice is modest, the capture is very important. It is the same for the wise person. By rejecting worldly happiness, he obtains the intense happiness of the profound jhanas and samapattis. Having this happiness, he looks back at sensual bliss and finds it very impure. He is like a man who has come out of prison or like a man sick with scabies who, once he is cured, no longer looks for the medicine. Moreover, the jhanas and samapattis are the first gateway of true knowledge. They clarify wisdom and illumine the dharmas. Like a lamp in a secret room, their light is very useful. The yogin who is based on the jhanas and samapattis attains the 4 immeasurables, the liberations, the sources of mastery, the superknowledges, eloquence and other very profound qualities. Possessing them fully, he is able to transform bricks and stones into sintamani and, a fortiori, into other things. There is nothing he cannot accomplish at will. 1. He dives into the earth as into water. 2. He walks on water as on the earth. 3. He touches the sun and moon with his hand without either being burned or frozen. 4. He is transformed into all kinds of animals without taking on their properties. 5. Sometimes he transforms his body and fills space with it. 6. Sometimes he reduces it to the size of a grain of dust. 7. Sometimes he makes himself as light as a feather of a crane. 8. Sometimes he makes himself as heavy as a huge mountain. 9. Sometimes he taps the earth with his toe and the heaven and the earth begin to shake like grass or leaves being shaken. These superknowledges and this power of transformation come from all the jhanas. Hearing these exhortations, beings become established in the perfection of trance. 6. Perfection of wisdom. The perfection of wisdom. The bodhisattva teaches beings to practice wisdom. Wisdom, whose light is most brilliant, is called the eye of wisdom. Without this eye of wisdom, a person, even though he has a fleshly eye, is like a blind man. Although he claims to have an eye, he is no different from the animals. The person who has wisdom distinguishes by himself the beautiful from the ugly without depending on another's teaching. The person without wisdom follows others from east to west like a cow. Go. Or a camel with pierced nose following its leader. Wisdom is the foremost of all conditioned dharmas for, cherished by the saints, it destroys conditioned dharmas precisely. As is said in the Sutras. Of all the jewels, the jewel of wisdom is foremost. There is no further sadness or torment for the person who is established at the summit of wisdom. Considering unfortunate and troubled beings, there is nothing that he does not discover except by the sword of wisdom. He breaks the passions which have had no beginning and the shackles of samsara. By the power of wisdom, one is able to perfect the 6 perfections, one obtains the inconceivable immense body of the Buddhas, one realizes omniscience and, a fortiori, the high qualities of the Sravakas. A fortiori equals with even stronger reason.